beautiful world of dodgy movies and TV. I am your host, movie and TV Mistress. I know I've been off for a week. Well, everyone needs a break once in a while. And so does Nick Fury. This week, I'm reviewing Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
From the pages of entertainment history, from a brand renowned for non-stop action-adventure, from a name that stirs the imagination, from a universe where good is heroic and evil sets the screen ablaze, comes a man who will always remain a hero.
I'll get that vampire's blood if I have to suck it from her neck.
Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D., the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division.
Nick, take care of her.
Isn't that sweet? His last words, Nick. I assume he meant his boyhood chum, Nick Fury. Well, rest assured, your friend's death is only the beginning.
Fury! Managed to screw things up again?
Listen carefully. I'm addressing S.H.I.E.L.D. Director Jack Pinzer. Death's Head virus has been set to explode somewhere in Manhattan. You have until 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow to assemble $1 billion. Any attempt to evacuate Manhattan will result in the immediate release of the virus. Against Hydra, there is no shield.
Alright, let's take this bird a little lower.
Damn it, Fury, what do you think you're doing? You're endangering the mission! You comic book coward!
Give us the coordinates, Tim.
We have two service to where missiles been launched.
Alright, let's move or we're gonna have two heat seekers up our exhaust. Hang on, people! Bill out! Grab your gear!
You located the suspect vehicle yet?
Sir, I have the site now.
30 minutes to the deadline.
This is Hydra headquarters. Blowing S.H.I.E.L.D. in the way of York.
Nick, thank God. I thought you were dead.
I was, but now I'm better.
You must get us the abort code.
The abort code.
Fury! You're too late!
Fury!
So, if you aren't aware of your history in regards to the Marvel character of Nick Fury, and you're only aware of the current MCU Nick Fury, which is Samuel L. Jackson, let me educate you a little bit. Back in the 60s, we had a spy called James Bond. And we had the Men from U.N.C.L.E. And Marvel wanted to have a character of their own, so they created a character called Nick Fury. Now, technically Nick Fury had been around before that, but they decided to make him a bit more of a spy. And he was white, and an older gentleman, but not too old, kind of like Bond. He kicked ass, he had an eye patch, and he liked to chomp on cigars. Somebody got it into their head, let's make a movie, or a pilot, really it's more of a pilot, about the character of Nick Fury from the comics. Now this is well before Marvel, the comics, decided to, well, redesign Nick Fury. I'm not sure exactly what date they redesigned Nick Fury, probably a couple of years after this movie. But at some point after 1998, Marvel Comics decided to redesign Nick Fury and make him, well, look like Samuel L. Jackson in the comics. They literally designed Nick Fury before even the MCU was even thought of. They designed, in the comics, Nick Fury to now become a black guy who happens to look like Samuel L. Jackson. this was a thing though back in the early 2000s, late 90s, that there was comics that were literally basing their characters' drawings on famous actors. I read a series of comics at that point in my life that had the art was based on cast members from Babylon 5, Mark Hamill, and some other sci-fi shows, and they were all in this and they had superpowers. Yeah. I guess to get the people who like those people in? I don't know. Anyway, so they redesigned him, and now, of course, a couple of years after that, they then get the MCU going, and then at the end of Iron Man, we finally get Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson. Kudos to Marvel for redesigning Nick Fury to look like Samuel L. Jackson. Probably asked, is it okay? He was like, yeah. And then they went, do you want to play Nick Fury in the MCU? And, well, what does that motherfucker do? That mother goes, motherfucker, yes! Of course he did. Anyway, back to this Nick Fury. This Nick Fury movie was actually a TV pilot and was meant to start off a Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series. You know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with Agent Coulson. Yeah. It's not a new idea. This came first. Part of me just wants, after seeing this movie, I want some of these actors and characters to turn up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I think that would be funny. Explain to me. Parallel dimension, whatever you want to do, I don't care. Put these characters. Actually, one of the characters is actually in the MCU. And in this, he's a good guy? Maybe he was going to turn later, if this had been picked up as a series. So, what's this about? Well, let's start with who's cast. You have David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. Yes, David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury before Samuel L. Jackson.
Alright!
David Hasselhoff was in a Marvel movie before the Marvel Cinematic Universe put him into Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. So, you have David Hasselhoff. You have Lisa Rinna. I think she was a soap star? I think she's kind of playing a character similar to Black Widow or May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know how May and Coulson have a relationship? There's a relationship between Nick Fury and her character, I forgot her name. Anywho, it involves a character from Captain America and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Baron von Strucker. Yes, one of those Nazi guys that did some crazy shit back in the Second World War. Well, he's been frozen, but his kids are pissed, and they decide to capture their dead dad who's frozen, who has a death head virus, which if they reanimate him, could kill anyone. And she puts some sort of frog chemical on her lips and kisses David Hasselhoff. Look, you don't have to know the characters, but as a Marvel fan and as an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, there's a whole load of Easter eggs in this, so it may not have done so well as a pilot because unless you're a Marvel fan, you're not going to follow this. And you're not going to understand who the hell anyone is. Me, though, I'm going, okay, so I recognize that guy. I recognize that name. I mean, I will tell you, I'm not huge, I don't know everything about Marvel, but I appreciated the little things in this film. Who wrote this film? Well, it's written by David S. Goyer. And if you know that name, well, he's behind some of the better stuff. He's the writer of the Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, it's okay, apart from the dad part. And hopefully that means that Terminator Dark Fate, which he's written, is going to be good. The thing that I enjoyed about this was the fact that it's the featured debut of Nick Fury, It doesn't try and give you a backstory, because who cares? You just need to know that Nick Fury kicks ass. For some reason, he's in a... I feel like whoever made Iron Man, or wrote Iron Man, probably seen this and thought maybe, you know what, let's take some elements of that. So, they have Nick Fury being picked up in a mine, and he's just hammering at a wall for some reason. He's been fired, and now they need to get him back to help them fight Baron von Strucker and his family. Well, mostly Baron von Strucker's family, because they have Baron von Strucker frozen in a case. There's some other Nazi official I forgot the name of, and then there is this guy. If, like myself, you watch Stargate SG-1 at this period, around this time in your life, then you will recognize this guy. He plays the same character he played in Stargate, pretty much. He plays a government asshole who causes the agency, or SG-1, all the trouble. This skips over explaining stuff like where Nick Fury came from, why his eye's missing. It skips over the fact that you have no idea who Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are if you've never read the comics. And the movies hadn't been made at this point, so who knows who the hell Nick Fury is at this point if you've not read the comics. It skips over LMDs, but it mentions that they're life model decoys. But very funny and set up, but brilliant. But it took a while for them to set that whole LMD stuff up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like a whole series growing this LMD, and then, you know, at the end of the series, they're all LMDs, and it's like, okay, you're all in, the real ones are all inside the freaking VR. Does it in one episode, or a movie. Seriously, this was meant to be a pilot. Hopefully they would be picked up. I think it could have been a good show. I don't think live action superhero shows, apart from Lois and Clark, possibly The Flash back in the 90s, and I can't think of any others really that did any good, because no one really wanted to see a live action TV series of superheroes. Lois and Clark became less about the super stuff and more about their relationship. Hence it became, originally it started off as The New Adventures of Superman, then it became Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. So it was more about Lois and Clark. And I just think TV execs didn't quite understand what they had with Nick Fury. And I really do want them to make a movie about Nick Fury, not just have him as a side character in Captain Marvel. It'd be very interesting to see him progress from like a young guy to becoming the Nick Fury that we know. But the thing is, you don't need a backstory, you could just have a Nick Fury adventure. And that's what this was meant to be. Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. taking on Hydra each week. What's wrong with that? Okay, David Hasselhoff and Lisa Rinna aren't the greatest. And the woman who plays Viper, well, Sandra Hess is a bit over the top, but I guess back then people just thought that's what you needed to do. It's like going back to like the 60s and 70s Doctor Who and seeing how over the top the villains are. I mean, if you look at the Master, he's way overacting. And then when you get to the 90s Master in the American BBC co-production with Eric Roberts, that's pure cheese. And I think people have realized you don't have to go pure cheese, you can do subtle. Such as Robert Redford. Robert Redford plays a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe called Alexander Goodwin Pierce. Now, when he first turned up in Winter Soldier, you think he's a good guy. You think he's on the side of good, but then it turns out by the end he's a bad guy and he's been working for Hydra and all that. That character is played by an English actor called Neil Roberts in Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., sorry, not Agents, Agent. it's the same character, it's just a different accent, different portrayal, but there is this hope that if they made him evil in Marvel Cinematic Universe, that maybe, and there is something slightly dodgy about an English actor anyway in the 90s, or any movie, TV show, right, even now, if it's an English guy, at some point you think he's going to go rogue, because us English are really good at playing bad guys. So my hope is, had this gone to series, then you would have seen Alexander Pierce become the bad guy, and you would see him actually be a bit like that character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that started off as a good guy in Series 1 and then went to become a bad guy and just keeps coming back even though he's been killed. Because, you know, I guess an alien monster can possess his body. Then there's the holodeck type virtual reality life. Then there is, oh, I know, parallel dimension version. Oh, wait, no, they did that for Agent Coulson, right, yeah. You never know, he could come back again. It's sci-fi, dudes. You know, sci-fi, you can do what the hell you like. And that's why Marvel Cinematic Universe is just going to explode with parallel dimensions and multiverse, because we need that. Yeah, I mean, actually we do, because I really want there to be a multiverse, and I want Madam Web to turn up. Man, I miss the 90s. So, it tells a very good story. It tells a story of Nick Fury coming back and becoming an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., sorting out his relationship with whatever her name is, and defeating, well, Viper, at least, for the time being, though she gets away with her father, Von Strucker, and apparently he's defrosting, and that means it's left open to see them hopefully defeat by the end of the series, had it been picked up, the Von Struckers, and then whatever would have happened in Series 2. Sadly, we just have this movie that not many people are aware of because it was a TV movie. And generally TV movies, especially in the UK, don't always come over here. I caught this on a couple of times whenever it did get shown on the Sci-Fi Channel. And I had to buy it when I saw it on DVD because David Hasselhoff, people, he's the Hoff. If anyone can play Nick Fury, it's either the Hoff or Samuel L. Jackson. And you know what? If they do decide to bring in the multiverse, this could be an alternate reality Nick Fury, and I would love that. Nick Fury meet Nick Fury. Oh my god, mind blown. Just telling you. Anyway, I would say, for pure hilarity's sake, please check it out. It's hilarious. Don't expect it to be as, well, good as a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It is a TV movie. Apart from that, it's a really good film. I really enjoyed it and thought it was, well, a bit over the top, but funny. Yeah, I know I've said that quite a bit. Over the top and funny. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button over there. Comment down below on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or on this YouTube channel. And hey, I have a website. It's movieandtvmistress.com, and my blog is on there from when I used to write my blogs and reviews. So they're a bit more in depth, a bit more descriptive than what I am verbally, because I'm still trying to improve this. Anywho, when you subscribe, if you hit that notification bell over here, it's about here, yeah. If you hit that, that will notify you when I upload. Well, that's all for now, folks. Like I always say, there's a lot of dodgy films out there. Bye!